Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Yesterday we are talking about Adhikari, who is the fit candidate, right candidate, fit joy seeker. Yesterday we have discussed that. But the question is, how to be a fit? What's the technique? As we mentioned earlier, from the Manushyatva stage or man stage, because naturally we are animal man in the form of a human being. Upanishad is telling Janmana Jayate Sudra. By birth we are Sudra, all. That is why after getting sacred thread, the person becomes Dvija, second time born. What does it mean? Means, who gives the sacred thread? The Guru. Guru teaches what is right, what is wrong. Then from that Shudratva, a human being gets evolved according to his quality, capacity. Clear? So, yesterday we discussed that the goal of religion is to reach from animal man to man, and from man to superhuman being, or to gain godlyhood. पशुत्व से मनुष्यत्व और मनुष्यत्व से देवत्व प्राप्ति ही धर्म का लक्ष्य है. To grow and evolve as a superman. And Vedanta gives us certain scientific techniques to gain that. All religions of the world in their fundamental rituals provide sufficient techniques for evolving the animal man to the man stage. In their higher practices of discrimination, ethical and moral living, detachment and higher meditation, we have a total scheme by adopting which from the man stage an individual can consciously hasten his own evolution to supermanhood. Clear? To the materialists, for whom life is an illogical and meaningless procession from the womb to tomb, There is no urge felt for self-improvement. There is no perfection to be achieved, nor any goal to be gained. To them, indeed, religion is an opiate for the people. Religion is a conspiracy of the rich. Religion is a diabolic extravagance of public time and public wealth. They think in that way, the materialistic people, and so on. This would indeed be the opinion of the buffalo world also. If we try to preach religion to them, we have to preach religion to the right candidate, to the right person, to the fit person. Never never preach religion to the unfit person. In all shastras, all scriptures acknowledge it. Who are really cross, who doesn't want to know what is that, who criticizes religion, never preach them. Then your natural question may be, the maximum world is like that, then how we dream for the better world? For them, God is there. He will look after as He looked after me, you, and all of you. When a good thing comes, suppose a good pumpkin has come, mother knows how that pumpkin will be served. Someone like pumpkin soup, someone like pumpkin sauce, someone like something else, or paneer. So God knows how He or she will equip the others. The greatness of man, justifying him to claim himself to be the roof and crown of things, is that he also can consciously grow and come to claim the bliss and perfections of the highest evolution. The vegetable and the animal kingdoms will have to wait till Mother Nature, Prakriti, takes them into her hands and brings them out through better molds of higher evolution. The methods by which man can consciously evolve are the methods of the spiritual life. In the lower scales of evolution, beings exist and act by the instincts under the compelling force of the urge to preserve themselves. Kill, loot, steal, but preserve yourself. Seems to be the law of life in the lower kingdoms. By hook or crook, I have to preserve myself. For that, if I need to harm anyone else, let it be. If I am to kill anyone else, let it be. If I am to steal from the poorest of the poor, let it be. But having become a man, nature seems to tell him that he can no longer grow if he lives the religion of the animals. Fight down the instincts. You shall not kill. You shall not loot. You shall not snatch. You shall not steal. Even at the point of death, suffer it meekly by heroically. And yet leave not the higher principles. Never leave, don't leave the higher principles of life, such as love, tolerance, kindness, mercy, and so on. This seems to be the only avenue through which man can enter the kingdom of his fulfillment and claim the bliss and peace of supermanhood. That as an organism, man has become physically perfect is the unanimous opinion of all physiologists. The next stage of growth is inward. There is a lot of animalistic grossness and instinct clogs in our head and heart, which are to be purified in order to bring about a greater amount of awareness or consciousness to manifest through the inner equipment of man. All methods by which this is achieved are spiritual methods, be it in Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, or Buddhism. But how to open that Pandora box? What's the key to open? When once the mind and intellect have been cleansed of their grossness and made still from all their agitations, the individual comes to experience and rediscover the state of pure awareness, which is the state of perfection, most dynamic and potent, visualized by all religions. You are that, or thou art that. Tattvamasi. Cries Vedanta repeatedly and denies us any reality in our present misconception about ourselves. It is something like an emperor waiting outside his own locked palace. Like an emperor waiting outside his own locked palace gate in the cold and dark thread of the wintry night. In his drunkenness, the king has forgotten that in his own pocket is the key, and that he has every right to open the door and walk within into the warmth, splendor, and joy of his own palace halls. The scriptures, like the attendants of the king, are repeatedly appealing to us, reminding us that our sorrows of life will all end if only we take that key which is within us and open the doors and walk into our own palace. But in our giddiness, with vanity and self-forgetfulness, born out of the bleeding ulcers of animalism in us, we have today neither ears to hear nor the good sense to see, nor the courage to open the gates of our own kingdom and walk in to claim our heritage as its sole monarch. Thus, the Dharmika Jivan, religious life, starts when one, by intelligently living the experiences of life, comes to feel the imperfections of one's own warm existence. Atma Kripa, Guru Krishna Vaishnav তিনের দয়া হলো, একের দয়া বিনে জীব ছাড়ে খারে গেল. Everyone is blessing us to open up the gate, finding out the key from our own pocket. Who? Guru. Means our own teacher, our own Shastra, scripture, is blessing us always, always, always. Krishna, the Lord himself, is blessing us. Vaishnava, the devotees, the people. People want that that person should be a sadhu, should go to a monastery. He is the fit for monastery. Otherwise, he will disturb us always. He will rampage our society. He should join into a monastery. It happened, you know. I have seen one brahmachari. He is a swami now, so I will not take his name. So came to join as a swami, as a sadhu. But after a few days, you know, he lost his all hope to see that, you know, hardship of this disciplined life. Because he only saw that swamis are coming down from the cars and people are doing pranam. Then, you know, they are in a clean clothes, and people are giving something else. Oh, it's a very wonderful life. That I wanted only. So I have to be a Swami. And when a new brahmachari joins into an ashram, you have no idea about the life, how rigorous it is. So when he wanted to go back to his own home, his family did not accept. বলে অনেক জ্বালিয়েছিস তুই ঘরে, আর নয় এবার আশ্রমকে জ্বালা। You have disturbed a lot. Now you are free to disturb the ashram. Don't come back home. Really speaking. So that sort of remarks from home made him more dispassionate, Vairagi, about the samsara. Oh, for that samsara, I'm doing all those things. You know, two brothers. One became a swami and another became a householder. What happened after 12 years that Swami came back to the village, not for doing household, just to visit the place. It's a rule of sannyasa that after taking that vow, after 12 years, that person should go to his parental place and visit. So he went, and his younger brother did him a sastanga pranam, the whole body prostration. He just lied down. That what a sacrifice, because they belong to a very well-to-do family. A lot of land and all those things were there. So younger brother started telling, "Oh, my elder brother, what a sacrifice you are having. You left all those wealth and properties only because of the Lord. Again and again, I'm really eager to pranam you." When he got up, that sannyasi did sastanga pranam to his householder young brother. And he told, "Oh, my brother, what is my sacrifice? Your sacrifice is more greater. Because for Lord only I have left this much of land and properties. But you are more Vairagi. Your sacrifice is more because of these small pieces of land. You have left Lord. So you are more praiseworthy. আমি তো ভগবানের জন্য জমি জায়গা ছেড়েছি, আমি আর কি ত্যাগ করেছি? ত্যাগ তো তোর, যেই জমি জায়গার জন্য ভগবানকেই ছেড়ে দিয়েছে। So the thing is, religious life starts when one, by intelligence living the experiences of life, comes to feel the imperfection of one's own warm existence. Atma Kripa, according to our Shastras, scriptures, is the outermost gate to the temple of spiritualism. But unfortunately, the sick hurry and the divided aims of our materialistic world give us no mental or intellectual rest to estimate life and come to feel the incompleteness of it all. From desire to desire, we are whipped along to groan down the path of life towards the abyss of death. Earning and spending and acquiring and hoarding, we lay waste our powers, ever seeking but never finding the unbroken and perfect state of peace or joy. The more materialism encroaches upon our divine nature, the more we shall get into the kingdom of the animals. And further away shall we thereby move from the bliss of perfection, which is the true and rightful heritage of man. Man's eternal nature is bliss. Bliss alone is his Swarupa. We are Ananda Swarupa. We are Sat Swarupa. We are Chit Swarupa. We are Ananda Swarupa. We are the existence alone. I am. You are. You are the consciousness alone. You are the bliss alone. Ananda Swarupa. Why don't we realize? Suppose in a day, how many thoughts come? Modern scientists say near about 16,000 thoughts come into our mind. Let it be the number. Our life is determined by our priority. Where we are giving our most priority in life. If the spiritual life is the priority, a person will start doing japa, the repetition of holy name. Who has got the joy in it, he or she will be always merged in it, soaked in it. Not only by sitting in one place, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. No. He will work. He will do puja, he will sit for meditation every time. Will not the non-conducive thought come? Of course come. Let it be. Savdhani hi sadhan hai. A spiritual seeker is always conscious. Any wrong thought comes, if any non-conducive thought comes, after some time he will realize, oh, this thought has come. Let it go. Because the priority of life is getting joy in mantra. How should I get joy in Om Namah Shivaya? Do you know, Swamiji? How many joys are there in the world? You are a sannyasi. You have no idea the joys about the samsara. This is your part. If you ask me, how should we get the taste and joy in mantra in spiritual life? Have you ever done sandal pasting? As much as you will just rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it. So the smell will come. Mantra is like that. Spiritual life is like that. If you constantly rub it, rub it, rub it. And another point you have not noticed. The pasted sandal has smell and everything else. But who is rubbing his or her two hands are full of aroma. So spiritual life, this is the significance of spiritual life. If you love it, practice it continuously, the essence of spiritual life is eternal bliss. It will come automatically. You have to rub the sandalwood, it's your duty. Then rest of the part is not yours. It's the duty of the sandalwood. Everyone is doing their own duty. What we are doing, we are observing they are doing it or not. Living our own duty. And that is the problem. We all want to change the whole world except ourselves. The more materialism encroaches upon our divine nature, the more we shall get into the kingdom of the animals. And farther away shall we thereby move from the bliss of perfections, which is the true and rightful heritage of man. Man's eternal nature is bliss. Bliss alone is our own Swarupa. Tattvamasi. And ineffectual, tearful creature. You know, you are that thou art and not this. And effectful, tearful creature is the repeated assertion of a master of Vedanta who were all established in their own subjective experience of this great truth. Guru always समझाने का कोशिश करते हैं तुम क्या नहीं हो और तुम क्या हो. And that is the repeated assertion of the master of Vedanta. Hari Om Tat Sat.